One of the things we find to save money and take care of our future selves is to refrain from buying things we don't really need. I've been doing a 3-year low buy challenge since 2020, going 4 years this year, and it has changed our lives forever. Today, I will walk you through each year what I bought, what I've learned, and insights I've gained along the years. And of course, one year is better than the other, but my overall spending has changed and has greatly improved. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome or welcome back. Subscribe if you haven't already. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. It's going to be a long talk. Right on, starting on my 2020. It was my first year to sign up for this challenge and I was so excited. It was initially a no-buy challenge until September that I realized that I would be needing a decent pair of shoes. I had my volunteering at an addiction and mental health facility that time, and my job required me to wear a scrub and a pair of tennis shoes. And so I grabbed myself a new one because my old one back then was 6-year-old black sneakers, and I thought it would break anytime, and I don't want to deal with broken shoes while interacting with patients. But technically, because it was both out of need and not out of impulse, I still considered my 2020 a perfectly done no-buy year. Now, looking back, my two takeaways from that year is number one is have a clear whys. This is the reason why I do what I do. My biggest whys have always been taking control that would lead us to freedom. Taking control over my spending to save some money to pay off debts, save for emergency fund, and invest. Next is taking control over my impulse, over my attitude. I did not want to be helpless, and nobody could make that change for me but myself. Second is to keep my momentum up. This is a force and strength that keeps me going. I keep my momentum up by surrounding myself with like-minded people, mostly online. Hearing how others made it inspired me and made me think that, hey, I can do it myself too. I remembered watching videos like this to motivate me and keep me from shopping. Now comes 2021. It was when my sister came to Canada mid of January. It was the best year ever and we were all excited. I was still aware that I was in no-buy challenge that time. However, by February, after her quarantine, we gave ourselves permission to shop for her as part of our welcome celebration. We went shopping and bought her winter clothing, but ended up buying things for myself as well. Whenever I bought her 2 pairs of thermal pants, for example, I bought one for myself as well. I bought 2 mitts, brown backpack, and our twinning spring shoes. I gave myself a permission to splurge at that moment, and I wasn't surprised after. However, I limit my spending to $150 for myself. Nevertheless, I continued my low buy challenge that year, and even though not as good as the previous one, we were still able to finish that well. Now, lesson learned from that year is it's okay to have a break, keep going, and be responsible. So whether I like it or not, things happen in my life, whether time to celebrate, that I need to splurge a little bit from here and there, and also times when I felt sad or lonely, and the only thing I would probably think to cope is to buy something for myself. It's okay to have that moment and buy something for myself to celebrate or to make myself feel better. It's okay to splurge once or twice a year for me than to spend freely the entire year without thinking about my budget and just being responsible. Don't feel guilty about anything and just pick up myself and keep going. Well, if you're still watching, thank you so much. Don't forget to give this a like. It will help YouTube boost my videos and show this to more audience. Now, finally, my 2022, that was just last year. I could honestly say that I did terrible last year as far as my low buy challenge is concerned. To be honest, I am still contemplating whether I am going to call that a low buy challenge, but I think it still qualifies, and I will explain that later. Starting my year with a sister's date inside the mall after all those restrictions brought about by the pandemic. I lost a remarkable weight before that, and I felt like I needed to buy new sets of garments for myself. And so my fashion designer, my sister, I asked her to go with me. I did buy 2 pairs of high-waisted dress pants, 4 crop tops, and that was a planned purchase because I set aside budget for that. 3 things that happened last year that facilitated my shopping. Firstly, as I mentioned, I lost 13 pounds of weight, and I felt like I needed to buy a new set of clothes that would fit me well. With that said, I sold my old and loose clothes and replaced them with new ones. And when I say new ones, I didn't mean they're brand new because most of them were thrifted. Second, I got my driver's license, and you know what will happen if have the flexibility to drive. It's more convenient for me. And timing, the newly opened thrift store was just 5 minutes drive from our house, and I've been visiting them quite often than usual since I started this low buy challenge. I found that they're selling lightly used clothes, and whenever I let go of my old ones, I would buy newer clothes that would fit me well. Lastly, Armin and I decided to let go of our old and not so comfortable clothes and replace them with better quality and more comfortable clothes. That led me to buy 5 sweater dresses, cheaper but with good quality on Shein. I'm not sponsored. It cost me around $100. Summer last year, I got myself a new pair of white Converse shoes. That I would say was a mistake, and I shouldn't buy that. And looking back, I can honestly say that that was not a deliberate decision I made. Subconsciously, I was influenced to buy those shoes. Then my husband needed to buy his pair of shoes for winter and bumped into a buy one, take one. He got me another pair of white shoes. Now I had 2. Finally, beginning of winter this year, I got new combat shoes that I've always wanted, and that was a planned purchase. As I mentioned earlier, I spent more in 2022 compared to my previous 2 years of low buy challenge, but still I consider that a low buy challenge year because compared to before I signed up for this challenge, I spent way more and I bought lots and lots of stuff compared to the previous year. Overall, I can still see my progress. For me, it is still something to celebrate and something that I can be proud of. Now, my big 2 lessons from last year. Number 1 is the importance of a constant reminder and motivation. I will constantly revisit my goal at the beginning of the month, plan ahead, and reflect on what I did do well or how I can improve from the previous month. Second is the importance of sharing my goals. There is power for me whenever I share my goals with people. It makes me feel I'm accountable for my words. This will also help those around me be reminded of my values and what I am up to now, and I won't get invited to shop. Now, the result of these 3 years of low buy challenge is remarkable and very exciting for us. It has impacted mainly the way we manage our finances. I felt like we are more responsible of the resources that has entrusted to us. We paid off a total of $35,000 including car loans and has since debt-free since summer of 2021 except our mortgage. Let me know below if you want me to make a video about how we tackle our debts. My attitude towards owning material stuff has also shifted. I experience freedom of not being attached to my material possessions. My relationship with my husband and my children is greatly enhanced, and I could spend more of my time with them because I am not preoccupied of browsing online or going around looking for deals, looking for things to buy, and my time is not consumed with organizing and reorganizing stuff in our house again and again. Well, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the description below. And as always, take good care of yourself. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.